Hello everyone, this is EWCafe. I am your host, the Cowboy. Today we're going to take a look at Microsoft. Let's get started. Alright, so let's quickly jump over to some counts in Microsoft. You're looking basically at the chart since Microsoft inception here at about 1994, maybe even earlier than that. We have a big impulse, we have a corrective move, and then we have another big impulse to the upside. I think obviously this stock, it's been, for a long period of time hasn't been doing a whole lot. If anything, it was just kind of going down and sideways, and this whole cycle took about 10 years of correction, right? The clean impulse in what looks to be a simple zigzag in an A, B, and then down in C. So beautiful setback that took about 10 years. And then, since about 2009, after the financial crisis, we started to get into a much larger rally. Obviously, Microsoft does a lot of things today, and with the transition here to artificial intelligence, they're probably going to be prone to continue to gain market share moving forward as well. So what I'm looking here is to kind of do a counting exercise and to kind of show you what I'm thinking about Microsoft. I already kind of have all the counts hidden. If you want to try to count it, you can go ahead and try. I'm going to show you here mine. I don't want this video to be too long in here. So let's just kind of go through it. I'm going to hit my keys in here. And counts should start popping out in here. So first of all, we're looking at the cycle degree, and it doesn't matter, it could be a super cycle, although it's still fairly short for it. But let's do a cycle degree, wave 1, wave 2, and I don't think you can place a wave 3 cycle back here. It's fairly short compared with this wave 1. We haven't even reached 100% equality. That was going to be hit at about 396. So just slightly below, the high from whatever this was, 2022, I guess. So, eventually, I think this market will continue to travel to the upside. Maybe wave 3 will pass this 100% and it will go towards, eventually $1,000 in Microsoft over, who knows, maybe the next 10-15 years or something like that. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's show up the other ones, and then we got to subdivide lower into the primary degree, which is a wave 1, a wave 2 in here. I think this is a flat, more of a running flat formation or some kind of a complex move, but I think wave 2 ends up here, and then we're still doing this larger third wave primary in here. So 1, 2, wave 3 primary, 4 to still come in the future, and then eventually a wave 5 that can take us a little bit up there. Again, towards 1,000, maybe 1,500 in Microsoft. Let's do the rest of the counts. Let's see in here. So this is the intermediate degree. Then we're going up in an impulse in another wave 2. And then we're doing a larger third wave in here, primary. And I think whatever happened in this bear market, it was just a fourth wave intermediate. We're going to have to do a fifth wave, then come back in a fourth, and then go up in another fifth. I mean, you might be tempted to say that this wave 3 primary ended up back here and you're actually doing a fourth wave right now. It's fine. I just think that this fourth wave here would be quite short compared with this guy back here. And I want to allow a bit more room for that to develop. So I'm choosing to subdivide this at an even lower degree to just kind of, allow for more of a, let's say, perfect subdivision and the right look between the waves. I think that, this was, just a kind of a quick ABC in here. This was maybe complex or ABC. We'll take a look inside it, and then I'll show you the time on this one as well, because it took about 161.8 multiple of this wave 1 of this wave 2, and that's a pretty cool ratio time wise for a fourth wave. So I like that. All right, so that's basically wave 4 intermediate. Let's see if I still have something else below that. I do have the minor degree as well. So let's go to a 2-week chart. So here's your 1 2 1 2 1 2. So triple 1 2 in here, which leads to the larger third of a third of a third, right here with the fourth wave happening with a COVID low, up in 5 for a wave 3. Then we're coming down, I think, in an ABC. Now let me do a time relationship, which is nice in Motivate software that you can do that without. So you go 4v2, and you can see that we're basically about 100 and right here, 161.8 exactly at the lows, you know, which is I think a pretty cool feature. So if you look at it, I'll show it right there. This is the 1618, and it's dead on with that pullback. So you don't really see that often. You know, it's kind of an ideal scenario in terms of time, and we're comparing this wave 2 with you know, with that wave 4. So that's pretty great to see, and that's what I think that right now we're going to be pushing higher. This is going to be your ABC, and we're going to go to the upside. Let me go back in here and just zoom in a bit more. I'm going to go to a 1 week, and let's go to a 2-day chart, and I'll show you. So this is the time relationship back here. Just kind of pull it lower. For some reason it pushed it a little bit to the right as I was pushing up my charts. Is maybe because of the way I'm kind of squeezing them out. But you know, this way it looks like it was about 127, you know, which is in the kind of the proper range. You don't want them really to get, you know, if it's 3 times as big, it starts to be a problem. But so far this looks pretty good. So anyway, let's just go in here and say that this is a wave A, up in B, down in C. This could be probably some kind of a leading diagonal in here in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then up in a wave B, and then another impulse. It's hard for me to count this as a complex correction unless I am assuming that this rise in here is part of the complex move, and I don't think it is. I think the move in here, it's already pretty strong. I think the market already corrected, you know, almost 40% in Microsoft. I don't know if we're going to get another leg lower. That would have to be, you know, along with the rest of the markets, which seem to be pushing to the upside. But definitely the next level of interest is this wave B high. And if we're taking over this guy, you know, by that time, this wave in here will be a little bit bigger and will start to look like a third wave. So far, it only looks like a 3 wave. You know, so you could have, for example, you know, let's say an ABCX and then another ABC and continue to move lower. You will extend this 4th wave, you know, let's say much deeper. But for right now, you know, I would watch definitely, you know, the way this looks. You know, something like that. I would just kind of put this trend line up there, and if you're breaking above this guy, then you're likely possibly in a larger third wave. So watch the 294. If we're getting all the way up there, that's about $30 away. A decent move. We have failed to make a new low, so you've had a series of you know, lower lows and lower highs, and it's the first time that the market kind of starts to make a higher low in here, and you know, you're starting to make a higher high, and that's kind of the definition of a beginning of an uptrend. So again, not super convincing just yet, just based on, you know, what the rest of the markets are telling us and the way they kind of behave. It's suggestive that you know, that the low was already found in here, and you know, we're already ready to move into Microsoft, into the next leg to the upside in here. So that's my analysis on Microsoft. You know, feel free to comment, let me know what you think. You know, if you have suggestions for any other stocks that you want me to put up there. I used to do a series, and maybe, you know, we're gonna recoup that series. I mean, kind of relight it when I was doing the you know, the chart or the stock of the day or something. Whatever single day I would pick a stock and just kind of go through the Elliott wave counting exercise to just look at impulses, look corrections, and kind of, you know, what I'm seeing in, you know, any of the issues that I'm usually kind of watching. So again, I want to show you also a pullback in here in a wave 4. That was, I think, let's see, 23%. 4v3. We pulled back about 23% of this entire third wave, and everything in here, it's on a log scale, so we're looking at percentages, you know, which is what we're supposed to be doing when you have, you know, such a kind of strong move. So it puts everything into, you into the proper scale and in the proper perspective, you can kind of analyze much better these reactions. But it's very possible that Microsoft is done here and ready to move to the upside. Okay, I'll talk to you a bit later. Bye bye.